bring you the latest edition of MBC News with me, Hilda Ngomano. Our top stories this afternoon. President Mutharika joins Muslims across the country as they celebrate Eid al-Adha. Over 5,000 candidates set to sit for the 2026 Junior Certificate of Education examinations in Mangochi, a slight decrease from last year's 6,382. FCB Nyasa Big Bullets to announce the appointment of a new head coach after the FIFA international break. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika and the First Lady, Madam Professor Gertrude Mutharika, have extended their warmest congratulations and best wishes to all Muslims across Malawi as they celebrate Eid al-Adha. According to a statement from the State House, the first couple says, as our Muslim brothers and sisters gather to commemorate the values and obedience, sacrifice and charity of Malawians, who reflect on the importance of unity, peace, love for one another. President Professor Mutharika and the First Lady, Professor Gertrude Mutharika, have since wished the entire Muslim community a peaceful, blessed and joyful Eid al-Adha. Meanwhile, the Muslim Association of Malawi MAM has encouraged Malawians to embrace the spirit of sharing with the less privileged. Charles Pensulo reports.
Speaking in Chikwawa during the slaughtering of herds of cattle and goats, Sheikh Chabulika said this year's celebrations, the organization will reach out to many people as they have secured 1,300 herds of cattle and 4,000 goats.
As Muslim Association of Malawi, with the leadership of the current leadership of Sheikh Idrissa Muhammad, he always have this program of slaughtering animals each and every year. I just recall that last year we slaughtered about 600, and this year we are going to slaughter about 1,300. So you can see the number is still increasing. That means more people and more beneficiaries, they will be benefiting out of these programs.
In his remarks, one of the beneficiaries, Blessings Chanza from Chikwawa, commended the organization for the free meat.
I'm very happy. When this time comes, we know that we will have good relish because they will give us meat. We can't afford to buy beef, but this time around, we have it. We are thankful to the organization for the gift.
Eid al-Adha is an annual celebration that takes place after completion of 10 days of fasting by the Muslims. According to the Muslims, the event relates to what Prophet Ibrahim did when God gave him a calf for a sacrifice on behalf of his son Ishmael. Charles Pensulo, MBC News, Blantyre.
In a related development, Islamic Relief Malawi has called on Malawians to support those in need and share their resources to strengthen unity and peace in the country. Country Director for the organization, Ibro Abdullahi, made the call in Blantyre during Eid al-Adha celebrations, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice.
So this is a program that Islamic Relief is conducting in about 40 countries, and Malawi is one of these countries. So we have people across the globe who are contributing to help, so we can provide some assistance of meat to those families who are not able to slaughter for themselves to celebrate the Eid Day. And my message is that let's spread the peace all over the world and hope that the world will be a better place for everyone.
The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology says there is a need to expose primary school learners to technology so that they can build a strong foundation for the future. Minister responsible Brighton Saka made the remarks in Lilongwe during the ministry's visit to Nkwichi Primary School in the district. Margaret Mabando has more in this report.
After touring Nkwichi Primary School in Lilongwe, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Brighton Saka, expressed satisfaction with the learning standards at the facility. Msaka noted that the use of technology in classrooms acts as a strong motivator for attendance. The minister also cited the government's ongoing push to connect schools to the internet, stating that the agenda is for every primary and secondary school in the country to have access to technology. He expressed confidence that the model seen at Mpuichi Primary School could be replicated across the country.
Our agenda is to make sure that each school has got electricity connectivity, whether it is grid power or solar, and therefore we can provide them with computers. As you know, we are building computer labs in most schools, and that will continue until all schools have computer labs. In the end, every school hopefully must look the same. Every school must have a library, computer lab, as well as a science lab, to ensure that when you are teaching children science, you don't do everything in theory. There must be practical experiments.
Mpuichi Primary School head teacher Esnat Moya said using technology as an ideal hub has improved performance as more students are now attending classes with interest.
It also helps the teacher to be innovative. Teachers come up with different methods of teaching to enhance learner engagement. So the introduction of technology at this school is very, very helpful, and we are happy.
According to the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, it is government's wish to expand access to technology in all schools across the country to ensure equal access to quality education for all learners. Margaret Mabando, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Over 5,000 candidates are expected to sit for the 2026 Junior Certificate of Education examinations in Mangochi, a slight decrease from last year's 6,382. According to Principal Education Officer for Mangochi, Solomon Bonde, Mangochi has about 58 secondary schools where the examinations are expected to be administered. More in this report, read by Owen Mavula.
As candidates across the country are getting set for their Junior Certificate of Education examinations slated for next week, authorities in Mangochi have assured the public of a smooth process. According to Principal Education Officer for the district, Solomon Bonde, 5,737 candidates are expected to sit for this year's JCE exams, a slight decrease from last year's figure.
This year, we are expecting to have 5,737 candidates. These who were registered. And this year, we have got that number comparing with last year. Last year, we had 6,382. There is a slight decline or a decrease to this number instead of going up. But this year we are expecting.
One of the schools getting set for the examinations is Mangochi Secondary, and Ishmael Gadamira is the head teacher.
We are this year going to have 122 candidates, of which 58 are girls and 64 are boys. This is slightly lower as compared to last year, because last year we had 130 candidates, and this year is 122 candidates. So we are prepared for the exams.
Meanwhile, some of the candidates have expressed satisfaction with the preparations.
I hope and believe that we are going to pass with flying cars, because the teachers also, they are trying their best to make us equipped.
Candidate of 2026, I have prepared well, because I know that what has been formed is what we learned and what we are studying on.
58 secondary schools are expected to administer the Junior Certificate of Education examinations in the district.
This is MBC News, a reminder of our top stories. President Mutharika joins Muslims across the country as they celebrate Eid al-Adha. Over 5,000 candidates set to sit for the 2026 Junior Certificate of Education examinations in Mangochi, a slight decrease from last year's 6,382. FCB Nyasa Big Bullets to announce the appointment of a new head coach after the FIFA international break. Welcome back. Government has launched 3 landmark biodiversity conservation and environmental management documents aimed at reversing biodiversity loss in the country. Speaking during the launch in Lilongwe, Minister of Natural Resources Patricia Wiskes said the 3 documents will provide a roadmap for conserving biodiversity while promoting the sustainable use of natural resources. More in this report by Madalita Mhango.
7th National Report to the Convention on Biological Diversity and the National Ecosystem Assessment Report. Speaking during the launch, Minister of Natural Resources Patricia Wiskes said the government is committed to promoting nature-based solutions to address biodiversity loss and climate change in the country. Wiskes urged the private sector, civil society organizations, development partners, and local communities to embrace sustainable practices to protect the environment. Project Officer for the Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services Network, BASENET, at UNESCO, Joseph Karanja, said UNESCO will continue supporting the inclusion of indigenous and local knowledge, which he described as essential in conserving ecosystems.
We have been working with the Ministry of Natural Resources through Environmental Affairs Department alongside the Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources, together with other UN partners. But UNESCO role within this project has been supporting the inclusion of indigenous and local knowledge in the National Ecosystem Assessment, ensuring that this scientific assessment is informed by both science and also the experiences and the wisdom of different communities across Malawi.
Director of Bunda College at the Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Luana, Professor Judy Fikamoto, who is one of the key players in the implementation of the document, said the country is losing biodiversity at an alarming rate. Professor Kamoto said the development is forcing the government to spend more resources on tree planting, soil reclamation, and restoration of other natural resources.
The figures are showing us that we are losing our forests, the fishes in the lake are going down, so it's a concern that we are losing a lot. Even our soils are being washed away, so we are losing biodiversity in that manner. And it's a cost, because for us to bring back that biodiversity, it means we have to spend money.
One of the Ngoni chiefs, Nkosi Mpelembe of Nzimba, said the document will help local communities understand how to use natural resources sustainably.
The resources are diminishing, that's one aspect. But when we also look at the rainfall pattern, is erratic in most cases, resulting into poor crop production in our communities. So we are living hand to mouth as far as food is concerned.
The launch brought together development partners, civil society organizations, academia, and local authorities. Madalitso Muhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Charles Mhango says the rebranding of the Department of the Registrar General is a key step towards improving service delivery. Mhango was speaking during the official launch of the company's Registration and Intellectual Property Center, CRIPIC, formerly the Department of the Registrar General. The institution became a standalone statutory corporation on 1st April 2026, following amendments to the Business Registration Act. Details in this report by Chinsisi Moyo.
The changes from the Department of the Registrar General to CRIPS brings together business registration, intellectual property, and civil registry services under one authority, a move expected to improve efficiency and service delivery. Speaking during a high-level event marking the official launch, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs Charles Mhango said the establishment of CRIPS will streamline processes and support economic growth by making it easier to do business in the country.
We are transforming into the Companies Registration and Intellectual Property Center. This will be an independent, autonomous agency of the government, and it will be managing all the duties and functions of what we used to call the Department of Registrar General under the Ministry of Justice. If you looked at the functions which were being performed by the Department of Registrar General, including the registration of death, births, companies, deeds, stamp duty, estate duty, and all other functions, registration of businesses, all those were under different legal instruments. We have now unified the registration regime into the company's registration and intellectual property center.
In his remarks, Registrar General Chikumbutso Namelo said the transformation will bring significant changes, including digital systems aimed at improving access and turnaround times for services.
People should expect more efficiency, excellence in service, and people should expect that they will find in CRIPS an institution that's committed to promoting business registry services, supporting entrepreneurs, supporting government informalization of businesses, and an institution that's committed to promoting intellectual property for our creative sector, for our innovators, and for the generation of wealth in Malawi.
Speaking at the same event, Chief Secretary to the government, Justin Saidi, said the formation of CRIPS is in line with ongoing public sector reforms aimed at building an efficient and impactful public service. Chinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government says positive reputation and trust are key ingredients in the attainment of the Malawi 2063 Development Blueprint. Speaking in Blantyre during a high-level public and private sector interface organized by the Public Relations Society of Malawi, Principal Secretary responsible for administration in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Rashid Ntelera, said positive narratives can attract investors. Temba Mwale has filed this report.
Ntelela observed that positive narratives create positive perception about Malawi, thereby attracting partners and investors, which are key in the attainment of the Malawi 2063 vision. He therefore called on players in the communication sector, including public relations personnel, to spread positive narratives about Malawi.
It's about where we want our country to be, at that point. So if we don't have trust, which cannot, build our institutions, which cannot make it amongst ourselves as a people to be saying we are Malawians and we can do this. If we can't have that, if we can't have the confidence because we don't trust each other, we have failed to build the institutions, the national institutions which help to make Malawi to be what it is. How can we be reaching that 2063 as a development agenda where we want to be? We can't.
President of the Public Relations Society of Malawi, Rachel Muhango, said the aim of the interface was to enlighten decision makers on the benefits of attaching importance to the roles of communication.
Not because communication is our profession, but because we understand that if the leadership of organizations do not understand and value communication, then we'll be in institutions without adding value, without achieving the results and the objectives of each and every organization. So we thought of bringing leaders, CEOs, directors from various institutions, and we are very grateful for those that responded to our call to have this communication conversation with an understanding and the message that we are sending, that public relations communication is not just a supportive role, but it's a strategic function.
And in his remarks, one of the participants and a keynote speaker, who is also the Commissioner General of the Malawi Revenue Authority, Richard Tambulasi, urged institutions and organizations to give public relations and communication tasks priority as they drive organizational success.
It is important that MRI should be, part and parcel of this interface because we believe in communication. We believe that communication is everything. In MRI, for example, we put communication at the core of business. There's always trust with communication. You cannot separate the two. When you communicate to people, in timely, you also build trust, and therefore you build your brand.
The interface, held under the theme The Return on Investment of Reputation and Trust, brought together chief executive officers and their representatives from 19 institutions. Temba Mwale, MPC News, Blantyre.
As cases of mental health involving men continue to rise in the country, churches are taking a proactive role in addressing the rising cases, including suicide among men in the country, by educating men on the importance of seeking proper help and support. The call was made at Blantyre Prison by Moses Maulidi, Baptist Church Men's Ministry Regional Coordinator for the South, during the commissioning of men who have qualified into the church's men's ministry. Speaking at the event, Maulidi stressed that men often suffer in silence due to social pressure to appear strong, which can lead to mental distress and, in extreme cases, suicide. He explains.
That's why Baptist Convention of Malawi introduced this ministry, men's ministry, because this ministry, it was introduced, I think, 5 years ago. So the purpose is, one of the goals of the prison of the men's ministry is that the men should be able to express themselves about the challenges they are facing, that they must be feel free to express whatever challenges they are facing, so that they must be encouraging each other.
In sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets say they will announce the appointment of a new head coach after the FIFA international break, which falls from 1 to 9 June. The development comes after the club dismissed head coach Gilbert Chira. Joining me in the studio is sports analyst Praise Majawa. Praise, what's the situation at Bullets right now?
As of now, Heston Montali will take charge as the head coach for FCB Nyasa Big Bullets on an interim basis for their game against Moyale Barracks on Sunday at Grace Chituro Stadium in Mwanza district. This follows the dismissal of Mr. Gilbert Chirwa, who has been sacked by the team yesterday following the performance of the team. It is surprising because FC Nyasa Big Bullets are unbeaten in the Elite League FDH Premiership. So far, Mr. Gilbert Chirwa has led the team to 12 games, registering 8 wins, 3 draws and 1 defeat, which came against their arch rivals, Mighty Wanderers. As of now, Heston Montali to lead the team as they travel to Mwanza at Grace Chituro Stadium, and also there are a number of issues happening at Bullets. The recruitment process of a new coach, as you have already said, that they are to recruit or to appoint a new coach after the international break, which falls from 1 to 9 June. We are expecting more from the People's Team, who is the next manager for FCB Nyasa Big Bullets. There are a number of names that have been mentioned. Mike Harrison, the former Kaizer Chiefs coach, Gerard Piri Senior, and other coaches from Zambia and South Africa. We are waiting and we're expecting the recruitment process at Bullets.
Very interesting. And in your view, who would be the right coach to take charge of the team amongst the people that we've mentioned?
Issues to do with FCB Nyasa Big Bullets, I also need someone who is mature, because managing FCB Nyasa Big Bullets dressing room is not a simple job. If you look at Peter Mponda, who is the past immediate coach for FCB Nyasa Big Bullets, who was sacked in December last year, he has played for the team. He has been the captain of the team. He coached the team. He was the assistant coach to Callisto Passoa. He knows the environment at Bullets. I think someone who is mature can manage FCB Nyasa Big Bullets. There are a number of issues. Pressure. You need to be tactically good. You need to be technically good. I think someone who can manage the dressing room of FCB Nyasa Big Bullets can be the suitable to be chosen as the next manager for one of the biggest club in Malawi. On the 5 coaches that have done their interviews, they are good coaches, but they need to know this is FCB Nyasa Big Bullets.
All right. Thank you so much, Praise.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, with that item, we've also concluded this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika joins Muslims across the country as they celebrate Eid al-Adha. Over 5,000 candidates set to sit for the 2026 Junior Certificate of Education examinations in Mangochi, a slight decrease from last year's 6,382. FCB Nyasa Big Bullets to announce the appointment of a new head coach after the FIFA international break. Keep up to date with our news by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Hilda Ngomano. Thanks for watching and good afternoon.
Sabara ino mu program ya Woman Talk.
Pamene banja lagwirizana akalima nthawi yokolola zimapezeka kuti kamwamuna kaya mkazi kukagulisa zokolola zija nzake usadziwa. Kodi azimayizi zikuchitika?
Koma muona nzimayi akutenga bigiri kuyeza ndithu kuzembetsa akaona kuti abambo ali kuseri kapena abambo achoka kuzembetsa ulendo kunjoka.
Nthawi zinaso bambo naye atape kumakagulitsa.
Amanenedwa ndi azimayi kuti azimayi anazembetsa kuti zadzifusefuso chifukwa chani azimayi anazembetsa.
Bible imanena ku Amos awiri adzaenda bwanji asanapangane. Chilichonse mmayenera mupangane.
Pamene lili thupi